as a creative city. I don't know if you'll see today, but a lot of activity in and around the city, fashion design, movie making is the latest thing. If you walk around, even where I live, there's always a shoot or a set, being set up, and it really seems to be a value for money destination to come and make a movie, filmmaking activity in our province. A diverse population, and also a population with a strong command of the English language, so it makes us, I guess, attractive to outsourcing activities. We actually met a company here last night from the UK that already have a call center here in Cape Town, looking to expand. So call centers, BPO.
I'm sure all of you know what apartheid was. Yeah? Instituted on the 31st of May 1948 by the National Party, and it roared on like a monolith for nearly 42 years until it was brought down in 1994. Now, of course, in those years, the challenges was all-encompassing. All of us on the other side of the white divide had these enormous challenges. Now, the cornerstone of the apartheid laws was that law called the Race Classification Act. And there were four main classifications for this. These were legal classifications, and the implications around those classifications were really far-reaching. So it was white to start off with, Indian, colored, and black, in that order. So
some went up the east coast and some went straight up the middle. While they were moving inland, they met up with some of the tribes that were being chased south by the Zulus. There was warfare between the Zulus and other tribes. And
but there are 7 aspects to broad-based black economic empowerment, and the aspects, the initial points in terms of the scorecard are around ownership, and that's where companies have done big black economic empowerment deals, basically getting a big black shareholding. So the first aspect of the scorecard is ownership. The second aspect is management control, so it's looking at your board. So that's where there's been a lot of focus in the past. And talking about strategies going forward, if there is going to be any change, and there's quite a lot of change mooted in terms of black economic empowerment, it's going to be more in terms of stimulating this economy, stimulating the second economy.
Political, obviously, because they just had the election, so it's absolutely at the forefront of all the papers. What was also interesting, that a lot of it was around the opportunities and threats side, and I think which shows a certain amount of progressiveness, I think, as a country, because it's not about the factual, everything's good or everything's bad, but equally we didn't.
Great that we have lots of eager people trying to buy into our company. So, I mean, a lot of hard work, a lot of sweat, but yes, it works, and we're really happy about it. Okay, that's a good question, by the way. We do wireless internet hotspots specifically aimed at the tourism industry, but also now branching out to what's known as multi-domain units, MDUs, like blocks of flats and gated communities. And what we really do is Telkom and Neotel, who are 2 big telecom players, they still take forever to deliver last mile, in other words, the actual internet to the homes, and also the type of demographics of an internet user here in Africa, not South Africa, but Africa is one that would really want prepaid internet. They wouldn't want a contract to have to basically to have to pay this month, and we fill that niche. And I mean, it's a niche that we want to grow right up to WiMAX, which is a new type of technology which is perfectly suited for Africa, which basically means you don't have to put in cables, a cable to a house. A WiMAX antenna is able to beam a signal So they say, we'll see if the 1X people are actually correct. But it would mean a signal to pretty much a 20-kilometer radius, which would solve the infrastructure problem that we would have here in Africa, because companies like Telkom, which have put in last mile wide infrastructure, not only own a monopoly here in South Africa and set the prices so high, but South Africa is probably the only place where this infrastructure exists in Africa. The rest of Africa, I mean, I've traveled throughout Africa, going to Mozambique. Sometimes you're lucky to even find a road there, let alone a telephone cable. So we feel that we're quite well suited to this type of economic climate. And hopefully the dream is that when in a few years' time, when Africa is able to actually afford, when the average Joe in Africa is able to afford a monthly payment, then we'll be able to get internet just like people in Europe or America, unlimited. And yes, any questions?
Out of curiosity,
Sure thing.
what is the average upload download speed?
Okay, that actually depends. Right now, if you, the different bandwidth backbones, if you go with Telkom, which is currently the one our fixed line operator, and they do ADSL, the most you can hope for is 4 megabits per second upload, download, and the AM ADSL is called asymmetric. They don't allow you to upload that fast, so you can't put a server on it. I think that's about 512 kilobits per second. So that is the fastest, most stable right now. Technology, it's not fiber optics, and it will cost them billions to try and re-put it in again. So we're on this boat, 4 megabits per second. That's it. Maybe they can up it to 8. Yes, sir.
I'm interested to understand, you come to the barn, you get allocated a specific mentor,
Well,
and obviously you've got the power of the group to help you as well.
yes.
What's the balance between the mentor? The mentor is supposedly the expert, I
Yes.
understand, and you get technical business acumen coming from that guy, versus the group, in terms of what do you get from the group, or are you getting somebody, a shoulder to cry on, or are you getting actual real practical help? I heard the mention of some money as well. And do you ever, did you feel going through that process that you were being evaluated in any way, or whether you were just going to be supported, whatever?
Okay, I can answer all those questions. First of all, we first entered the bandwidth barn and sit via a competition. So to answer the last question, yes, we were evaluated all the time.
Okay.
We managed to win the competition, and then we decided to stay on at the barn. In terms of a group mentality and a mentor, well, let's speak about the group first of all. Everyone in here is an entrepreneur, and in this room, most evenings there's some type of talk or some type of event that we're all welcome to go. We have a shared email list, and a lot of people share their problems. And in terms of a shoulder to cry on, I normally come and cry on Chris's shoulder. It's great. It's difficult to wait to my face and his shoulder. But that being said, with mentors, we've been incredibly lucky. We wouldn't exist without them. One of my colleagues is involved in what's known as the My Mentor program. Have you explained it to them? And we were all mentored in when we were doing this velocity competition. And I mean, the My Mentor program is something we feel that's so fantastic that the program's ending now, and we don't want to give it up. So I'm applying next. So look, I think probably the pertinent question is, could we have made it